somebody who is glad that you're finally engaged to your Jordan, so you won't be sending him random text messages anymore. We got our friend Jordan Ranaan with us here. Here, Jordan, let me help you because I see.
These TV guys don't know how to work the radio headsets. There you go.
Well, because it's. You got to turn that back on.
I got him. There we go.
There you go. What is it?
Where's the producer here to set me up? Come on. What's going on here?
Jordan Ranaan with us right now. Isn't that
what a producer's supposed to do? Save your butt?
Yeah. No, we want to look like we know what we're doing, so it has to be at your expense this time. Jordan Ranaan with us right now. Of course, he covers the Giants for the mothership, ESPN and ESPN.com.
I have a question for Jordan right off the bat. Jordan, the difference between heavy-handed and physical, your thoughts?
Yeah, look at you making friends again.
There's a reason for it. Go to ESPN.com tomorrow morning. You'll see the reason that I asked Ben McAdoo that question. I know he wasn't thrilled, but hey, I was having trouble defining his term heavy-handed. You'll see what I mean.
He answered with just a straight-up next question. Just right at you. That's okay.
You're going to be what was that? Teal?
Do you understand what heavy-handed means?
I thought
in his terms at least.
I think you hit people.
You're like trying to push the tight end down, right? You're trying to get some leverage on somebody at the end of the line. Byron cracking up over there.
No, I mean you were.
Isn't that basically physical?
Right.
It is. Yeah. Right. It is.
Listen,
he uses that term often. That's why I asked him about heavy-handed. It's one of those that comes up quite often, and I've never quite understood what heavy-handed means. Like.
You just stopped being pink shirt guy. You just, come on. Tom Coughlin used to love calling you names.
We're good. You
and Coughlin are good?
Me and Ben.
All right, good.
Me and Tom don't go to dinner.
No, not going to happen?
Nah, I don't think we're having dinner soon. Just a guess.
Just a wild thought.
Just a guess. My trip to Jacksonville, he hasn't invited me yet.
No, he's not going to hang out with the grandkids?
Nah.
Jordan, yesterday, actually it was early this morning, you wrote an article that Darius Poe is the unknown who could shake this up. I kept my eye out for him today. I didn't see a lot of shaking. What do you see in this kid that I'm missing?
It's more that he caught a couple passes today. I think what do I got? I got him down for 2 catches, which is nothing special, but not a terrible day for a guy like that. He's a possession receiver type guy, big guy, 6'3", 220 range, and just has been getting open and making plays out here. I mean, so. That's, look, they kept him around last year for the entire season on the practice squad for a reason. This is a guy that they actually liked. He was a rookie. He was kind of raw. Came from that same Cal system that Davis Webb is from. So there's a big transition there. So they're hoping that this is a kid that can kind of grow into a receiver, and he looks like he's a player. I mean, it looks like he could hold his own out here. Look, he's not going to be a significant starter anytime soon, but look, he's trying to make a roster. And but the Giants they have a very deep wide receiving core that people like.
Well, take us through yesterday where Sterling Shepard goes down, the whole play itself, and now the update on him.
Yeah, it really wasn't a play. They were running an individual drill. So that was the thing. That's why you're like, whoa, it's never good.
Right.
They just ran a route. I mean, we were on the far side of the field over here, and they were on the far field, so the wide receivers and the quarterbacks just running routes and throwing passes. Usually nothing happens when those situations.
But just don't need to pay attention to it.
And look, it's like probably a good 100 yards away, so we weren't very close to it at the time. And so he goes down and he was laying on the ground for a decent time. Stood up, didn't put any weight on it at all. Was standing there with each elbow on the shoulder of a trainer, and eventually got in the cart and they took him off. So I mean, at that point, when you're down for a while and it's a non-contact drill, you get concerned immediately.
Right,
when a guy goes down with an injury in a non-contact drill, automatically the red flag is up in the air, right? And then when he doesn't put any weight on it and takes a cart off the field, you're like, whoa, that's not good. That's usually indicative of something bad. And on the scale of things that could come out of that, I think what the Giants have so far is way near the positive end.
Sprained ankle?
Yeah, I mean that's about as good as you can hope for in that kind of situation right there.
Are you kind of saying you don't believe it, that it might be worse?
No.
Okay,
I'm just saying when a guy goes down like that, a lot of times the first thing that comes to your mind is knee, Achilles,
right?
Something
CL.
like that. Yeah. Something where your season ends.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because as you brought Jordan Ranaan with us right now, 104.5 the team. Like the buzz phrase used to be Dr. James Andrews. If you saw that, you're like, oh no. Yeah. Now it's non-contact.
Yeah, like non-contact's bad. I mean, usually it means you put your foot in the ground and tried to cut, and something just gave out on you. So, fortunately for him, it looks like he just rolled his ankle of some sort. And the first time I think he ever had some sort of ankle problem. So maybe that's why he kind of got spooked into thinking that it was a little bigger than, you could sprain your ankle pretty bad, and you could kind of feel it pop.
Right.
And be like, oh, whoa, what the heck was that? And think, I just really screwed up my ankle.
What bothered me is that you did everything right on your tweet, but somehow if he doesn't get hurt enough, you're now Dr. Jordan Ranaan. It's like, Ranaan said he was busted up. Nice job, Jordan. Like, you did your job as a reporter, but people on Twitter are, like, giving you a little bit of grief about it.
This is the way it goes with everything nowadays. That's just part of the deal. It's really crazy. I mean, you can't, no matter what I say, it's
there's no winning.
Yeah, there really isn't. There's not full winning, that's for sure.
What do you make of all the dust-ups? I mean, there was like 6 skirmishes and then an actual dust-up today in just the first offense versus defense drill.
Yeah, they ran some physical running drills today. I think it got guys a little amped up, and they were really slamming hard for a little bit. And I think this is the result of the first 4 days they didn't really put on pads.
Right.
So the last 2 days, they finally put on pads after 4 days, and now we're seeing the results of all that pent-up testosterone that's been building for what? When's the last time they really hit before that? We're talking, it is August right now.
It was Green
Bay.
So
January.
Right?
So January to August, that's what, 7 months? That was 7 months worth of testosterone we've seen on the field in the last 2 days.
It's amazing. We're live from Giants training camp. Jordan Ranaan, nice enough to hang out with us right here on 104.5 The Team.
Odell Beckham Jr., Brandon Marshall working together. Are you impressed by how they've worked together? What's that relationship like with those two?
I just think you're impressed that look, exactly what you were hoping for with those two skill sets really match each other. Like Beckham is that just explosive playmaker, can do it all, go up over guys, take the slant 95 yards if he has to. And Marshall's just that big-bodied receiver, can make some catches coming across the middle. You saw a fade to the corner of the end zone where, he caught a touch. I mean, that's what he brings to the table. And you like the different skill sets among the wide receivers. You just feel like it's a much better, more well-rounded group. I mean, last year was Victor Cruz, Sterling Shepard, and Odell Beckham, and you're like, those are some 3 small guys. Like, you can really start jamming them, maybe create some problems. They put some guys over the top. I mean, they're not guys who are going to make a ton of catches in crowded, congested areas. They're guys who can create space. And, it just didn't work last year. Not just for that reason. I mean, there was a variety of reasons it didn't work. Beginning with the offensive line, and Eli Manning particularly didn't play very well, in part because of the offensive line. The running game was non-existent, and you put it all together, and the offense was a disaster. It was a mess.
Right.
Averaged 19.4 points per game, and I think there was 6 teams that finished worse than them in points per game, and they were the 6 teams that absolutely have 0 quarterback whatsoever. It was like the Browns, the Jets, the Rams with Jared Goff as a rookie. You name it, the
right.
Teams that had absolutely no quarterbacks, and the Giants. Those were the teams. They were in that group of teams with scoring points last year. That's how much their offense struggled. So, yeah, you like what you see with Marshall and Beckham. That different skill set, the complementary skill set is really catches your eye. And you're like, that's why you want Shepard too. I mean, that receiving core. This offense is built around their weapons. Look at their offensive line. They brought back the same offensive line. Very uninspiring. The running game is questionable. They're built around their weapons, meaning those 3 wide receivers and now Evan Ingram. And if those guys aren't there, it's going to have a lot of trouble being a successful offense.
All right, so somebody caught my eye, and I don't know if I'm just seeing something or if it's just where I was sitting. Landon Collins looks like another level. Like, he's got a swagger to him. There's something about him when he's out there that you're just like, okay, is this his team?
Yeah, he's a beast. I mean, you saw him he just popped the running back on one play. Granted, he wasn't supposed to really knock him to the ground or anything. But hey, you saw him rip the ball out one time. He's just when he gets near that line of scrimmage and you get into a physical game, I mean, that's where this guy thrives. And he's a special athlete. I mean, he ran a 4 something, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure he did and I think he was in the 220, 230 pound range. Ooh. So yeah, I mean, he's a special athlete. The difference is he knows what he's doing now. Like year 1, he was running around with his head spinning. Year 2, he knew what he was supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I mean,
so now he knows what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I mean,
he's confident.
And he's confident. And, guys, he earned the respect. He told us a story about how, he went to, he goes to camp with Earl Thomas and met Russell Wilson at the ESPYs, and he could see that the respect that he's getting from these guys now, it's a different level. Like Russell Wilson was like, "Yo, I saw what you did last year. Keep it up. Good stuff." And to him, now he's like, "Wow, that means something to him because this is a guy who was a rookie the year before and was, up and down." He really didn't play particularly well. He got caught in a bad spot where they had no free safety, really, and they had him trying to cover guys at times. That's not his best skill. If they had him covering guys all the time, you'd be like, this is not a great player. But if you get him in the line of scrimmage and say, okay, go bust people's heads, run around, use that 4.4 speed, and he's powerful. I mean, he's a big guy. His shoulders are big. He looks like a linebacker when he's out here.
Right. So he came through like a WWE wrestler. All the VIPs that are up here, he's like high-fiving them all as he comes in. He's going to the ring, and then he gets into the end zone and everybody just kind of stops and looks at him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of flair to him. He's good. He's a good player. He's a very good player in this league, and he's a guy. Look, the Giants have him and Odell Beckham, and they're paying them combined $3 million this year. This is why they're able to have some of the other big name players around them, especially on defense, because they have those two guys on their rookie contracts for now, at least.
Right.
I don't think that's going to change in the short term, but in the long term, eventually it will.
Right.
And then some of those other guys aren't going to be here anymore.
Right.
Let's go to that quarterback room. A lot of new faces now. Davis Webb, the rookie, Geno Smith, Josh Johnson, Eli Manning. How has that battle been developing, and what are you taking away from that position?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Eli's the guy there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he's looked pretty solid in camp. I think the arm is something we need to keep an eye on a little bit. He's underthrown some passes, and it's something the Giants, they want to put him. They're putting him and a bunch of other veterans on a pitch count, so it shows that maybe they were a little concerned last year at the end of the year of how his arm maybe was holding up. I think there was definitely some times where people were questioning his arm throughout the season a little bit. Granted, he's not able to just sit back there and throw the football all day, but that's part of the deal here. Right. This is the NFL. You're not able to sit back there and on a lounge chair and throw the football, especially with the team that the Giants have assembled here. He's going to have to make throws under duress. I mean, that's pretty much going to happen. Their offense, you could tell they're trying to get rid of the ball really quickly here. Again, this summer, maybe even quicker than the past, which is staggering.
It's like sub 2 seconds.
And then behind them, there's a quarterback battle between Geno Smith and Josh Johnson. And Davis Webb, the plan really appears to be that he's going to be the number 3 guy this year, and kind of on a redshirt year. You could tell he didn't get into live drills here today. They have a special phase or period that they've created just to get him snaps. It's called the 7-on-7 opportunity. So basically, him and all these young guys who can't get snaps with in the regular periods, live periods, they created a new period just to get them work. That's basically for Davis Webb.
Does that mean Geno or Josh Johnson, whoever's not the back, is going to get cut?
Yes. That's been the plan. That seems to be the plan. There's nothing we've seen this summer that really strays from saying, "Oh, that's the way this team is going." It looks like they're going to pick between Geno and Josh Johnson as their backup, and Davis Webb's going to be the third quarterback, and obviously Eli Manning's the starter.
Jordan Ranaan with us right now. He covers the Giants for ESPN and ESPN.com. How thrilled are you that there's LeVar Ball has not called out any Giants and Colin Kaepernick is not rumored to join the team?
Yeah, we don't have that kind of drama around here. That's certainly good with that. We could, as little drama as possible. Odell keeps us busy enough,
Right.
He's not tweeting pictures of Johnny Manziel anytime soon. Hopefully.
Any prediction on the team with the short amount of work you've seen so far?
I think it's going to be a good team. I mean, the defense. This team is built on their defense. I really think that defense has a chance to be special. That's really the only way for this team to be to be a real contender is if defense. There's with their offensive line and running game. Eli being 36, turning 37 this season. It's hard for me to sit here and say that this is going to be a great offense, but I do think this could be a great defense. I really do. I mean. if you look at it, they lost technically 2 starters, Jonathan Hankins and Kelvin Shepard. Kelvin Shepard was a middle linebacker, didn't even really play a ton. He only played on base downs, and Keenan Robinson played more than him. But now they're plugging in B.J. Goodson, who should be an upgrade from Kelvin Shepard, a second-year middle linebacker. Look, really, physical guy. You can see it out here all the time. He's, chesting guys to the ground consistently. Darian Thompson stepping in at free safety. That was supposed to be his job last year. You could say that would be an upgrade, too, because he's taken over for Andrew Adams, who played 13 games started 13 games as an undrafted rookie. So, putting those 2 guys in the lineup, and you say, okay, everybody in their second year in New York, their second year in the defense, most of them should get better. I'm not sure that's technically the case. Snacks and Janoris Jenkins were so good, I'm not sure they can. But so the only spot really you should think that maybe there would be a drop-off is where Jonathan Hankins left, the defensive tackle spot. So if they could be as good or better at 10 of those 11 spots from the defense that allowed the second fewest points in the NFL, to me, that's where this team can really make its mark. That's how they're going to win games. They're not going to be a consistent, dominant offense. Not unless Eli, all of a sudden summons, 2007 and 2011 and puts it over 16 games. But let's be honest, it's been 13 years and he's never done that for 16 games over a regular season. So it's hard to believe all of a sudden, hey, here he comes at age 36, 37.
Gunslinger.
Yeah, the reality is he's his prime years are probably behind him. He's more of a complimentary player now than he is a lead dog anymore.
Jordan Ranaan, ESPN.com. Can't wait to see what heavy-handed means tomorrow when you write that one for us.
Still haven't figured it out. That's the thing.
Right. Well, you got some time,
Also, I promise I will not send you any.
Because in case you didn't realize, McAdoo did not answer.
He did not. Next question.
He was not exactly. He did not exactly open up the floodgates didn't open, and him.
That's a good question, Jordan.
Honesty came out.
That's a good question. Let me explain it to you. I've got a dry erase board right here.
If you get any questions about wedding cakes or the flowers, I apologize. Now that I'm engaged, I'll
take
promise
wedding questions over bathroom questions.
Yes.
Let's be honest. On the scale of texts I'd rather get. Bathroom definitely above wedding.
I promise I will
wedding
not do
above
it.
bathroom.
Okay.
For anybody who's missed this story, Goz's fiance's name is Jordan. So Goz, not paying attention, texts Jordan something about what's going on in the restroom, and it's Jordan Ranaan. So
I also think it's weird, by the way. I don't text my wife what's going on in the bathroom either.
Well,
that was the first note that something was wrong here. You got right? Think
Jordan,
about that.
The proposal story.
How often do you do that?
Never. But the proposal story, she had done 6 or 7 Jaeger bombs and she was gassy. So I figured, it's real
I'll send
romance.
It to you. It's true love.
Yeah, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it in a dime store book anytime now. It'll be right there. Jordan, thank you so much for making time. I know this is your busy time of year, but we're gonna keep bugging you.
You got it. I'll be here any time for you guys.